Hi there, let me shake your hand. Now shake my scissor hand. This is a great strategy to try, especially with kindergartners, to get that correct hand placement when they are originally gripping the scissors. So you extend your hand out and shake the student's hand, have them keep their hand extended, and then you place the scissors into their hand so that their thumb is on the top and their fingers are on the bottom. If we haven't met before, I'm a K-6 elementary art teacher, and my name is Katie Jarvis. I work at a Title I school just outside of Washington, D.C. In this video, I'm gonna cover scissor safety and how I teach my students how to cut. At the beginning of the school year, you're gonna wanna go over with all your students the correct way to hold the scissors. So I like to demonstrate different ways of holding the scissors and have students give feedback, either with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So they see what to do, but they're also seeing what to avoid or what not to do. This strategy of giving that feedback and showing both ways that are correct and incorrect to hold the scissors helps your younger students quite a bit, but it also helps if you have English language learners. Now, how I teach my students is 2 or 3 fingers on the bottom and the thumb on top. Open up the mouth and go chomp, chomp, chomp. So 2 or 3 fingers on the bottom and the thumb on top. Open up the mouth and go chomp, chomp, chomp. Now this year I added another tip to this. I gave my kindergarten students a little tiny sticker, and I don't know about you, I never know what to do with stickers that are this small, but this worked out perfectly. They were watching a video about what we would be making for the day that I created, and we went around and on their dominant hand, on their thumb, we stuck a small little sticker so that when the kindergartners were cutting, they were checking to see if they could see their sticker. Then they knew that they were holding them the correct way. I'm not sure where I found this hack, but it's definitely one that you should try. Whenever I am teaching a new material such as scissors, I like to look up or create my own social stories. So these are just simply pictures and visuals to go along with the expectations that you are trying to teach. If you're looking on Teachers Pay Teachers, these are often sold by kindergarten teachers and special education teachers. So the first thing I'm teaching my students is that they need to be sitting down when they are cutting. We will show different pictures too. Are we gonna be cutting our clothes in art? Are we gonna be cutting our hair? So that the expectations are very clear about what we are doing and what we are not doing. I will teach the students how to pass the scissors, so offering their friend the handles, and I will demonstrate this by handing it to a student, and then they will hand it back to me, giving me the handles. I will show the students that we are going to be cutting away from them. So you also need to show them what it looks like when you're not, when you have the scissors turned towards your skin, or you might have the scissors turned towards your shirt, that is not correct. I teach the students about chicken wings. I tell them I'm going to be coming around and checking all the kindergartners for chicken wings, that they shouldn't have their wings out, but they should have their wings tucked close to their body so that they can control themselves and do good and careful cutting. I will show images that show students holding the scissors with both hands so that they can see the difference and notice them and notice this in themselves and ask for help if they need it. I will go over again the placement of the hands. I say 2 or 3 fingers on the bottom and the thumb on top. Open up the mouth and go chomp, chomp, chomp. I like to go back with a little check of understanding. So I will show pictures and say, we see someone and they are sitting down and cutting. What do we give that? Is that a thumbs up or a thumbs down? And then I will also have the students explain their thinking. Why do you give this one a thumbs up? So that I can see that they are understanding. You can even put in pictures of your older students demonstrating what to do, what not to do, and your students will love that. This one, I definitely have them explain their thinking because some of them don't notice that the student is standing up. Remember, we had said that we'll be sitting down when we're cutting, so you'll want to bring attention to that. I store my scissors in over-the-door shoe organizers. Now, I have had these for several years. When I initially set them up, I used that silver duct tape and I reinforce the bottom so that little holes are not poked out when over time students are putting the scissors away. I explain the concept to my students that the scissors are sleeping in a sleeping bag. So there should be one pair of scissors in each pocket. I do a happy and sad board for my behavior management, and any pair of scissors that's missing at the end of class equals a frown if the class is unable to find them before they leave. This strategy works really great to keep me organized, and the students can quickly visually see if things are missing and help out. At the beginning of the year, I teach my students the routines of how to get the scissors. So with kindergarten or first grade, I'm calling out the names of a few people or dividing the class in half. Maybe the boys or the girls go and get the scissors first. I teach them that they have to walk and get the scissors. When they get their pair of scissors, that they need to give their scissors a hug. And I just describe a hug as squeezing the part of the scissors that are silver. So squeezing the blades and then holding them down by your side. So I would start this with just me demonstrating with my large scissors. Now, if you do not have a pair of these large scissors, you need to get yourself one. Especially if you're watching this in real time and it's right before Halloween, you can get these from the party store. So I will link a couple that I found down below, or if I find some on Amazon, I will link them too, because students love these. I typically keep them up here out of reach of little hands on that little 3M hook while I'm not using them. But it's great for the demonstrations, especially at the beginning of the year. So I'm teaching the students to hug the scissors and then walk them back to their spot. The hug is going to be staying on that scissors until they sit down at their spot. So I teach my students that if they are cutting, they need to be sitting down. I'm getting feedback from some of you that you would love some lesson ideas. So I want to share a first cutting project of the year for pre-kindergarten, kindergarten. I will take a piece of construction paper, 12 by 18, and I cut it down just a little bit to make this more manageable. I will draw with the Mr. Sketch markers a rainbow onto the paper for students. And I just do this on one paper, and then I put this in the copy machine to make copies for all of my students. That's right, you can copy on construction paper. I have a video all about it on my channel. If you don't know that trick, make sure you check it out. It is life-changing. When the students come in, then they are receiving strips of paper. So the strips are pre-cut. It's already 1-inch strips of paper, and then you're seeing the students hold the paper. You're seeing how they cut the paper. If a student needs a little bit of modifications for this assignment, one thing that we have done is folded the paper squares for them. So we'll hand them back the paper all crimped up like that, and then the students would simply try to cut on those lines. Another modification might be that you pre-cut the squares for a student if needed. I really like this project as a first project because you get to see who's got stamina, who's got organization, who knows how to cut, and who knows their colors. You really get to see the levels of if they're able to focus and work on this. I have 45-minute classes for kindergarten this year, and it takes about 2 classes to do this. On the first class, they are doing the warm colors, and in the second class, they're focused on the cool colors. Of course, as the rainbow gets smaller, things move a little bit faster, and I think that really helps to keep them interested. It's a good project because you don't get the I'm done. They can clearly see when they haven't gotten, the next strip of paper or that color that they are not finished. So it kind of slows them down a little bit and gets them focused on a bigger project. In your art room, you're going to want to have some adaptive scissors available. So this is scissors that all students could use. The first type is a safety scissor. So this is the kind of scissor maybe like a 2-year-old might use, and it doesn't cut skin. It could definitely cut paper, just one sheet at a time, but it does not lead to an injury. This particular pair has a little function where if you put that there, it will spring back open. So that could be helpful for some students. Another type of scissor that I have is the loop scissors, where maybe an adult is helping to hold the papers and the student simply just squeezes these to open and close. So it's opening back up on its own. They just need to have the strength to squeeze it down. A third type of scissors, which I do not have, is one where it stays stationary. So imagine a pair of scissors that works a little bit like a stapler. It stays in one place and the student just presses down to cut. I'll make sure I pop a picture of what that looks like up above. Now, as far as teacher scissors, okay, I am Fiskars all the way. And my favorite pair are these easy action scissors. So these are scissors that just simply like pop open for grown-ups. What I really like about these, and I probably have like 15 pairs, I really like about them is they're comfortable on your hands. So if you're doing a lot of cutting or if you're cutting multiple pieces of paper, you don't get that rub like you do from other pairs of scissors with the small finger holes. I make videos every week for art teachers just like you, and this video is part of a larger series called Managing the Blank. Fill in the blank for all the things that art teachers need to manage. Managing the paint, managing the clay, managing the glaze. And next, you might want to check out managing the glue. I'll have the links up on the screen right now for you to watch.